Hey guys, my name is Aijalonwallace, and today we're going to be talking about mistakes to avoid in job interviews. I make videos about IT, entrepreneurship, and traveling, so follow my channel, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So listen, if you are preparing for a job interview, you want to make sure you do your research on the company. You want to make sure you do your research on the culture as well, most importantly. I've seen some people who have interviewed for giant companies like Facebook and Google, and they would show up to their interviews in a three-piece suit, and it did not match the culture of the company because everyone was wearing jeans and t-shirts. So you want to make sure you're doing your research on how they dress for the job interview. Most importantly, it's always good to get your resume reviewed by a recruiter and potentially your cover letter. You're not seeing that many cover letters these days, but it's just always good to have one just in case, at the end of the day. You want to also try to impress, your client when you are interviewing. So if you're interviewing for a job, you want to make sure you do research over and beyond. Anybody can go to the website and read the About Us section, but have you typed in the company on Google? Any recent news articles, any partnerships, any new sales, or was there an increase in the stock recently? What can you tell the company about itself that a lot of people will not tell themselves? So you want to go over and beyond, to really show that you're doing thorough research. You want to make sure that you're making eye contact as well. You're not looking all over the place. You're not looking down. Do not have your cell phone out. That's a number one automation termination. So you want to make sure you're giving eye contact, and you want to smile. You should show that you're a human being. It doesn't always have to be so serious as well. You'll be surprised at how many people do not smile in the job interview or do not show positive energy, which is so important. When you are interviewing for a company, you want to also, you want to make sure as well that you're really showing interest and you're really showing the client that this is where you want to be. This is the job that you want. So you want to make sure there's no reservations. You never want to be late. Being late is usually an automatic no. Most people don't even make it to the interview if you're 10 minutes or 20 minutes late. Sadly, a lot of clients tend to reschedule those interviews, and that usually means that, you're probably not going to get the job if you are 10 or 20 minutes late. Try to show up to your interview at least 10 to 20 minutes early. I would say 10 minutes early, but to play it safe, I always show up, an hour early. This is me. But I may sit outside or sit in the car, but I usually like to make sure that I'm at least in the lobby 10 minutes early before the interview, just in case. Sometimes the rooms may change, the elevator may change. It may be a completely different situation. It just all depends, and it varies on the situation, on the outcome. So always make sure you're 10 minutes early at the end of the day. Always make sure that you show up with extra resumes. If you are having an interview, sometimes there are last minute surprises. So if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I've always been told this saying, listen, always bring at least 3 or 4 resumes printed out just in case the hiring manager decides to bring in 1 or 2 people to show them that you really prepare and you're ready for whatever the situation is, no matter what. So you always just want to, make sure. It is good to practice your behavioral questions. Often a lot of people are really intellectual when it comes to technical questions, and it comes to a lot of advanced mathematical or whatever type of questions. But where people struggle the most is behavioral questions. Your basic, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why are you here? What is your plans? Why are you looking for a new job? You want to make sure those are the questions you really want to master, because often you see that a lot. Also, once again, when it comes to clothes, make sure your clothes fit. Make sure they're not too tight. Make sure you look clean and presentable. And of course, you're matching the company style. So how do you look up the culture of the company? Sometimes you can look up the culture on their Facebook page, their LinkedIn page, their Instagram page. You can see how people are dressed in the office. But you also, if you are using a recruiter to assist you with that job, you can always ask the recruiter as well to better prepare you for that position as well. Another thing, that really people never really do, but it's always good to show initiative and try to create, besides coming in with your resume, what else can you offer? I try to tell people to present a 30, 60 day, 90-day business plan. This almost guarantees you to get a job when you are taking an initiative outside of being asked to do this, to show what type of results that you're going to try to achieve and you're going to want. And even if you don't know the answers, or even if you don't know what to say, you could do your research, but it shows the initiative, it shows that the hunger and how bad you really want the job and what you're willing to do go over and beyond at the end of the day. Another thing is, if someone asks you why you're looking for a new job, never, ever, ever talk bad about anyone in the company. Never. Someone asks you, even if you have a bad boss or bad employees, you always want to mention that you're looking for new opportunities. You're looking for, to increase your pay. You're looking to grow with an organization. You're looking to learn new skills, but never talk bad about the client, because, that can really be a red flag for the client on their end at the end of the day. So you just want to make sure you don't do that. Most importantly, make sure your cell phone is turned off as well. You'll be surprised at how many people phones rings and they bring their phones. Do not even bring your phone inside with you for the job interview. Leave it in the car. You really want to show that you're focused and you really want this job at the end of the day. Always be prepared as well. If you do schedule an interview and it goes well, the hiring manager may want to just interview you there for the second round and get it out the way. So always leave an additional half an hour or hour open in your calendar, just in case they want 2 other team members to interview you. It can really speed up the process, and you could walk out of there with an offer depending on how things go. You want to make sure you have positive energy. Don't come off as weird or creepy. And if you're someone that doesn't know what that is, it's probably you. So be yourself, be relaxed. Of course, and just make sure that you're prepared for all outcomes in all situations. You want to have a clean haircut. You want to make sure your mouthwash, you gargle. You want to make sure even having a manicure is very important depending on the job. People are always looking at everything, how you present yourself. You want to have your nails clean, even for guys. I'm not just talking about women, but I'm talking about men as well. A lot of men don't think having a manicure is important, but a client is always, companies are always looking at you from top to bottom, at the end of the day, and you want to make sure you're presentable in all forms. You want to have your face cleaned if you have a beard, but also understand the culture of that company as well. If the facial hair is not, that they may shy away from. Sometimes, sadly enough, some companies may not embrace the whole beard, but you always want to make sure you're clean cut and you're well presented for every situation, no matter what. Another thing is to ask your recruiter if they have sent anyone else over there for an interview, and ask them what type of questions, to better prepare yourself. If you are using a recruiter or potentially talking to HR, you can always ask, what type of questions should I prepare for to better, be prepared for my interview with the hiring manager tomorrow. That gives you an upside, at the end of the day. And also you can ask, what are some things that hasn't worked in the past with other previous candidates? I've seen it all, I've heard it all. So you also want to understand what topics or things you probably should avoid depending on the situation. If you do go out on a lunch interview with the client, potentially try to order simple foods. Do not order anything like spaghetti or anything that's gonna put a lot of sauce or things around your face. Go play it safe. Go with a salad. Go with a soup. But do not order anything that's gonna make you look you know, like a completely different person. It's very rare, but sometimes it happens occasionally. So you want to, you just want to make sure, on those ends. Of course, you want to have a firm handshake, practice your handshake, but with COVID and everything going on, some people may just be open to doing the elbows, or they may not. It's you kind of want to go with the flow and just see. It just depends on the company. Some people may still take COVID serious, so they're probably not doing handshakes as much, but it just varies and depends at the end of the day. Always follow up after your interviews. That's another important thing. As soon as your interview is over with, always send an email thanking the hiring manager. And even if you make it to the last round, I always tell people to bring a thank you card. Really show that you're appreciative of the company, and like I said, and go over and beyond, at the end of the day. So you always just want to, you always want to play it safe to at least show how well respected, how manable you are, when you are going through a lot of things, and show that show that you really want it. I think sometimes a lot of candidates do not know how to show that they really are interested in the job. And be honest as well, if you are going through multiple interviews, because that helps manage the client's expectations and speed up the interview process if they really take a liking to you, if they know that you're interviewing with other organizations. Sometimes it's best to just be honest to say, hey, I'm interviewing with 3 companies. I'm already going through the final round, but I prefer being with you guys. I really would like to work for you, but I don't want to miss out on these opportunities. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help speed up the process, or I'm flexible in my schedule to try to go through these interviews. Just because you may have a deadline with your other offers on the table if you do. So it's good to be transparent. It's good to be honest, and it's good to just ask for what you want. Sometimes if the interview is going well and it's good energy, you can ask, do I have the job? And some hiring managers will tell you, they will, it just depends, they will tell you right then and there, especially if they like you. So it just depends on the situation. Stay humble, be confident, not arrogant. There's a difference, okay? Be confident, not arrogant. Have your head high, eye contact, speak with confidence. Even if you don't know and if you don't know something, this is one of the most important things as well. If you do not know the answers, say, I do not know the answers. But, try to, you can always say, I don't know the answers, but this is what I'm thinking. Try to make effort to explain, even if you don't, even if you know a little bit about the topic and a few things of what they're saying. Try to at least make the effort, and just always say, no matter what, I'm going to find the answer. And if they do ask you a question and you have a second interview the next day, go back to them and tell them, hey, I actually found the answer yesterday. This is what, boom, 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 boom. And yeah, I did more research and now I understand this is why you should not. Some people, when asked a question in the interview, they don't even go over and beyond and attempt to try to answer. They just say, I don't know. And that's not the person people want to hire. They want to hire someone who's going to at least attempt, who's going to try, who's going to make effort, and who most importantly is going to try to find the answer at the end of the day. Listen, guys, if you like this video and you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and let me know if you got any questions. If you do have interviews coming up, best of luck to you. Let me know how it goes.